machine. Fire's in your veins, you're running the race, but everything you want is just data in space. We promised you freedom, now you're trapped in the life. Welcome to the future, no escape in sight. Feel the surge, the power rise, electric pulse through the skies. Heartbeats racing, lights ignite. Ready now, it's time tonight. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat, lost in sound beneath our feet. Feel the charge, let it begin. In this moment, plug me in.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Hold on.
I think there's a thing in there somewhere for
No,
that.
I'm not one to give away money, but
Yeah. We had the same idea. You're on fire.
oh. Here, I'll get.
Don't quit your day job. Come on, don't you want me to make you a baka? A bakatini? Or whatever it was? Azul, I can give you a happy ending. Would be a good bartender in VR. Yep. Don't trust me to make you drinks in real life, though. If you ask my IRL friends, they'll tell you I try to get you fucked up.
I don't hang out with you guys enough. I don't venture out and really get a chance to talk with you guys, see what you're interested in, and see what you guys really want to see and hear about and talk about on the Ogre Cave. And what better way can a radio host do that if he ventures out and talks directly to the people in the game? So from now on, if you see me out and about in any game, not just VR chat, if you see me in any game, for one, feel free to hang out with me. Two, talk to me. I'll talk back. I am open. I'm always here. Maybe you don't see me online, but you see me on my socials. Feel free to reach.
Was the yard and they're like, it's better than yard.
Shush,
They're like,
shush. It's time for another episode of Milkshake Factory, a show where I taste and rate epic frothy combinations. That didn't sound right. I'm suing the teleprompter after this show. And today, I'm joined by my apprentice, John, who makes an awful lot of terrible milkshakes and a lot of bad decisions like in general. Like right now.
they're not all bad. The one with the pumpkin spice was actually pretty good. It had a secret ingredient.
That milkshake somehow caught on fire, John.
Yeah, like it's spicy. That's what you told me last night.
We'll discuss that later. Today, we're going to try a milkshake that I personally made. Takes a shake from the kitchen counter. Where's the shake? This is the vanilla shake. Simple, elegant.
Smells like
You don't have to be an artist to create art, because art is all around
I like
us.
the horns. You can tug them if
Yes,
you
you
like.
can tug my horns if you like. Yes, I decided that, in order for me to shine, I'm going to shine from within. I'm not going to worry about being all flashy. And though I do enjoy developing a lot of different stuff and putting stuff together to make it look cool for you guys on the screen and stuff. It's not all about all the, you know, the fancy effects. That's just my inner critique, just gnawing at me, saying, "Oh, you got to make it better. You got to make it better. Otherwise, they won't like it." It ain't about that, man. It's about what's from inside, from the heart, and showing people that you're gonna perform because it's what you love to do. So now prepare my funeral. No. Make sure it's in instant ramen cups, so everybody can have a little bit of oni when I die.
Can I have Crown Royal, please? No apple. No peach.
I think we have Royal Crown, if that's okay.
Oh, did I say Crown Royal? Royal Crown? Wait, what? You're okay. Listen, I'm already fucking drunk. You need to work with me.
Oh no! How much have you had so far?
3 glasses. I'm on my 4th.
That's not enough. Need to get hammered.
No, that's because I was drunk on my first one.
What? Because that's the real question. Like, you can be
red wine.
Okay.
Yeah,
you don't.
No, it's
you
bad.
have no resistance. Wine, nothing.
No, I don't. I'm a big
Vodka?
lightweight, so the first one I don't.
Let me get you.
Respect me.
Let me get you a shot of tequila.
Wine, you're drunk.
Let me get you a shot of
Give me
tequila.
that shit on the rocks and give me a line. motherfucker.
I know you've seen me in the store quite a bit, but most people didn't know it. But I finally did a big reveal last night because I do a lot of VTubing and content creation on the side, do music and games and stuff like that. But today I'm just kind of spreading out the awareness, trying to remind people to take a break. So I got a goodie bag here with some ramen, some chopsticks, Kit Kat, and a coupon for you guys to use in the store. So it's $10 off any repair or $5 off any accessory. And, you know, keep staying awesome.
I pull the juke, I pull the chair. Say the right things, breathe the air. I'm all matters, all control. Like I don't bite, like I don't know. You swear I'm harnessing this light. All clean lines and candle bright, but even roses have their thorns. If you stay long enough to get warm, and I see it in your eyes, that little spark you try to hide.
Does that mean I'm free?
No.
Oh no! No! What do you mean no? Streamers gotta rest too, you know?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You just want to torture me. Got me, beating me up, smacking balls at me. Anyway, I really appreciate the hanging out, but I do gotta close it out. And I appreciate the follows too. You guys.
If you had a warning label attached to you, what would it say?
I would just have one of those nuclear radiation symbols. There's no words that need to be said. It's just that whole sign, like at Chernobyl and nuclear plants. Just don't come near me.
Let's see. If I had a warning label, it would probably say proceed with protection.
You gotten me up on yet?
To keep you from bonking me. But just think, if I get this program set up right, you'll be able to send little, you in the stream will be able to send little effects to my avatar up here.
I can't wait.
Somebody put...
Don't touch anything.
That's probably another warning label. Somebody put, we'll talk for hours about stupid shit. That sounds legit. Sometimes I feel like I could talk for hours just about random shit.
You do talk for hours about random shit.
Do I really?
Even when we're on Baldur's Gate, there's some things that aren't part of that. Or you lead it somewhere from something that was in Baldur's Gate, and then it just spurs out. Where's this going? But you know what? It's just entertainment.
Just entertainment. Yes, the classical bard. Somebody put a warning: social, awkward, and silent, but will talk for hours about stupid shit if he feels comfortable around you. That also seems legit. Somebody said, that's mine too. If I did coke, I'd be unstoppable.
Oh no.
Warning: will use any chance to tell you roller coaster facts you didn't even ask for.
Roller coaster facts?
Roller coaster.
That's a specific one.
That is very specific. So somebody put, I want a roller coaster fact, and somebody else put, the trains at Coney Island's Cyclone weigh 25 tons.
Oh my god.
Somebody put best before 1999.
Damn.
Like an expiration date. Damn. Let's see. Put very low battery. Always needing to plug yourself to a charger or something. Damn.
That might be a thing.
Let's put warning. Know how to socialize. Will stand there awkwardly. Feel like that's you. What is he doing over there? Well, he went to go socialize, but now he's just standing there menacingly. Should I go talk to that guy over there? I don't know. Just keep staring menacingly.
Shit. Damn it. The hell? Wait, am I the fish now? You fucking fish! I was so freaking close, man. And that... so close. I did not know that the fish would eat you. I had to think about a new direction of doing things when I finally took on this Oni persona. And I think the one thing that I enjoy doing, which I was thinking about just a moment ago before I got up here, is the way I took on my life of creating stuff. Because in the past, I would think about ideas that I wanted to create, but I'd always fail to get somewhere with it because I would be too critical of myself, and then I wouldn't make it because it didn't turn out the way I wanted. So when I took on being Oni, like building up the persona of Oni and all the stuff I was creating with it, I was just going with the flow.
Do you feel more comfortable being in a VR platform, or do you feel more comfortable in real life?
Like safety wise, or
Just like freedom to be yourself.
Oh, definitely VR. Yeah, yeah, probably, because then you can just meet people all around the world, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
But here, just in the real world, trying to think, probably not as comfortable. I mean, yeah, you can walk around, do all that, people look at you.
Yeah.
But like,
Anybody struggling with talking out in real life and they need a nice small way to get started, definitely check out, people who have similar interests online. And, there's always going to be somebody, like, don't ever feel alone. There's always going to be somebody out there that shares your similar interests. And they're probably going through some of the same things you are. So don't forget that.
yeah, and like example, I have something that is truly personal, no study about it, but I'm sure about it. There's in every 1,000 people, there's someone you can talk to. In every 1,000 people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, in one day, you met at least 500 in the regular. So in just 2 days, you've met someone you can talk to. Just 2 days. And you have a lot of days to go.
Oh yeah.
Home isn't four walls and keyholes. Not the bed where I learned to dream. Not the street I swore I'd never leave. It's not the town that grew too small for me. Home's the voice that holds when I break. The memory of someone saying you're safe.
Look, I don't think this is a good idea. They started using AI over at the cell phone factory, and it told us all to work triple overtime.
Yeah, but that probably won't happen here. Look, it helped me make a hamburger. Your favorite.
Well, I do really like hamburger. I guess it can't hurt to try some. Oh, this is odd. It looks like hamburger, but it tastes weird. What's in it?
Oh, the AI said it add dirty water so it would be easier to digest. Navi, I swear if you had the recipe like that.
Why would you put dirty water in hamburger? Don't you have any common sense?
Why would I need that? We have an AI now. That's so messed up.
So,
I was just saying, appreciate you getting down and deep. Down and deep. Down and deep. That doesn't sound right anymore.
Hey, bro, I need to bring back the guy.
Swaying nervously. Don't worry, there's no roaches in this one this time. Unless you got roaches in yours. Do you have roaches in yours as well? Do I need to do some maintenance on your computer? Bugs that are physical or electronic, we can fix it. That's a good one. I've been trying out this new repair ad campaign with my avatar. I will.
Listen to Mommy ASMR, or is it just me?
when you say mommy ASMR is what we talking about here?
I mean, like sleep, like praise, like oh you're such a good boy, like type shit like that, like they praise you to go to sleep. You know what I'm talking about? Like reassurance type shit. Like, I like
interesting.
So real, honestly.
Interesting.
It could just be me, man.
It's not just you. I honestly did not expect that honesty there.
Just to make it known, I do like Mommy ears. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I will take a good boy compliment and I'll run with it. I'm proud of it.
I really, when I was making the 6-7 song, I was thinking about what was a fun twist I could do on the idea of 6-7. And I thought about, as much as I love my people, my inner circle, my friends, families, children, all those, I realized how much I truly love them. Like, if I am in the grave, it doesn't matter how deep you put me. I am still going to be there for you. So, meow. Okay, there's clearly a cat symbol. What the fuck kind of meow is that? Did you just... That was the deepest meow I've ever heard. Hold on. Pet the kitty. Good kitty, good kitty. Like scratches behind the ears. Would you play this seed just based off the teaser alone, or do you feel like you need more information? Oh no. Don't kill me. Hello, Azul. Are you going to take me out now? I'm scared. When your own mod looks at you like that and says nothing, you just wonder, is it time?
You can take it.
Okay.
I'm at like me too, but like.
Yeah, I'm at
It's
full
not
health.
like it's gonna help me survive.
Then you
Turn
grab
around.
the back of my neck, or you can
Nick-
give.
Oh, you want me to give you a massage?
And help.
No, I don't need 10.
You don't need.
I'll survive.
You don't want to Oni massage?
I don't want the Oni massage.
Those lead to children. Don't get them. Oh dear.
There you go.
Thank you. Banana, I'm a guy too. It doesn't matter. You're gonna be pregnant.
Hey, Navi. Who's your favorite character on ZZZ? For a moment to catch up while I'm looking at some of my notes here. So would you consider Cyber City using Seed based off of the teaser alone? Would you say, okay, you know what?
Top tier drone is always me. Extra spicy if you dip me in digital ketchup.
What? What's that have to do with Zenless Zone Zero? And why are we putting you in ketchup? Sohor Tata Sohor. What the heck you talking about? Are you trying to exercise me? I'm not a demon. So, one question before I finish off with this with topic. If you had to banish a demon, what's your battle soundtrack? Is it going to be metal, pop, classical, or maybe something like totally unexpected? If I know me personally, if I were to try to be exercising a demon, I'm going to use the most craziest freaking like techno, E-waves, all that stuff. They reach like the different frequencies. I think it's been said that there's supposed to be special frequencies for that kind of thing.
How you guys doing? You guys doing good? You having a good week? You happy the weekend's finally here? Doing anything fun? Besides hanging out with me, of course.
No, please God.
You gotta help those little arms. You gotta help those little arms. It's out of sympathy.
Testing. Okay. What's up, Cyber City? And welcome back to the Ogre Cave. We are finally back, and I am so glad to be here. It has been too long. Just want to do a couple things before we actually get started on the show. Sorry it took me a minute to actually get things rolling here. What's up, Azul? Yes, lizard. I decided for my Ogre Cave, I was gonna start doing some little clip highlights before the show starts. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me just make sure all my other stuff's in order, because it's been a minute since I've done this thing, especially on VR chat. Kind of just my beachwear outfit. Sorry, Navi, that you didn't get a swimsuit. What's up, Nix? How you doing?
Rude. I'll survive the swimsuit famine, but I am judging your fashion crimes.
Judge all you like. So anyway, before we get, the whole show rolling and everything, a couple things, I just wanted to kind of talk about now that the Ogre Cave is back and it's back in the swing of things. I took some time off from the Ogre Cave, and for those that have heard, those that haven't heard, the last season, and I call it a season because it was more of a season of learning how I wanted to do things. Kind of season of becoming, more into the VTuber medium and all that sort of stuff. But it kind of got kind of dark and sensitive and just yada yada all towards the end. So towards the end of it, it just became not what I had envisioned it to be. And so it was good for me to close that off and learn from it. And so I had to take some time away. There's a lot of other stuff that goes along with it that I'd love to talk about later as to what I'm looking forward to now. But the one thing that I must make sure that I make known is the Ogre Cave is not just a place for me to flap my gums off. Okay. The Ogre Cave is a comfortable place for you and me to sit here and chat about things that I feel may go under the radar, some things that I feel like might need more discussion, or maybe I feel like, you as my audience haven't had your opinions heard about the matter. So this is a place for all of us. In the past, I did have topic bans on certain topics because I was worried about getting canceled, and just some things might create negativity. But going forward for the Ogre Cave, I'm not going to so much as ban certain topics. It's more going to be how I properly, what's the word for it? Handle topics, I guess you could say. As long as we keep everything in a nice, positive, and constructive vibe, then we're good. If I feel like things are going sideways, or if you feel like, hey, tap me on the shoulder or say, hey, Oni, I'm starting to feel a little bit, overwhelmed, offended, or something about this, we'll say, okay, all right, let's scratch this. And if we feel like revisiting this later at a better, positive manner, then we can do so. But one thing that we make sure we do here in the Ogre Cave is it's all about a community coming together and talking things out and not harassing or bullying each other just because we might have difference on opinions or things. As long as we properly talk things out, then we're good. Because the one important thing that I love about being a radio style host, and hopefully one day an actual radio host, because that'd be really cool. A radio style host is when I think about the radio, I think about how the host is there to kind of bring you into the conversation, and their job is not to just push a bunch of facts and stuff on you. Their job is to make you feel included, because people might think the radio star is dead, but I mean, if you really think about it, I had an awesome opportunity recently to go and visit one of my local radio stars, and he's still connecting to people daily who just are tired of the constant noise and stuff that's being pushed on them. They need somebody else's brain to kind of like disconnect and then reconnect, I guess you could say. Radio just becomes a podcast. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, enough of me blabbing my mouth about radio and blah 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 blah. We can talk more about that later. So let me just let me do something proper here. Welcome to the Ogre Cave. I, Oni1, am your host in the Cyber City Underground. My job here is to be the voice of... I already said that. I probably did. Let's try this again. I'm the voice of the Underground. What's up, folks? Lizard. Oh man, it's been too long. I don't script anything. I literally don't. I quit scripting a while back. I tried scripting things. It didn't work out. I literally make bullet points and then I do shows because, it's just funner to do it that way. And that way I can just let things roll off the top of my brain. But before we actually get into topics and start having conversations, I wanted to show you some cool stuff. So Navi,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to leave you sitting here. We'll come back for you. I'm not dragging you all over this place. I want to show you guys the new place.
Bullet points are just digital breadcrumbs for my protocol to munch. Show me the shiny stuff already.
Okay. We're going to show the shiny stuff. We're going to show you our new place in Cyber City. So stick with me for just a second. I'm going to switch the cameras real quick. All right. So let's go to number 3. Oh, nope, not that. For a second, let's just have you look at me. Hi. How's it going? I don't want to spoil it just yet. I want you guys to see it from the outside. All right, so let me lift my fat butt up here. Nose hairs. You can't see my nose hairs on here. Silly Azul. Alright. I'd be a little bit concerned if you guys could see my real nose hairs. I'm a very hairy dude. My brother the other day called me a less hairy Robin Williams. Alright. Let's go. Alright, so just want to take this camera. Let me see this camera real quick. It's a little bit. Hold on. Let's move this over here. Okay. Now let's bring the camera down. Fluffy carpet. Yeah. Where's the button? There we go. All right. So yeah. Welcome to the Ogre Cave. So what we did here is I've been working on this for a little bit now. I started off from purchasing a little world that I thought was the best representation of what it would look like for me to be in Cyber City Underground. So me and Navi have rented out this nice little garage, originally created by BMO on Gumroad. So if you ever feel like you're looking into building your own VR world, but you don't want to do all the architecture and stuff, you know, feel free to check them out. I went and edited and reimagined this world. So we've still got some crates here. Me and Navi still got some unpacking to do and some stuff to do. It's raining outside here, so it's raining on my end of Cyber City. If it's not raining, then I'll turn it off. Legos, yeah. Inside here is a nice little, car garage. There were cars in here. I had to move them out. Navi was no help. So yeah, there's still some dirt left on the floor. There's some animated picture frames that go along with the music in the room. We got a beer pong table and a pool table. There were some drapes, so they've left the shadows behind of where I took those down. We'll probably put some posters and stuff up later. This glass here seems to also animate along with the music. And inside you can see where we were sitting. There's Navi. Navi's sitting in there. There's been a bunch of like graffiti and stuff everywhere, and I can only take off some of it because I'm not going to wash it all off. Some of it kind of leaves some cool aesthetic. Let's go up the ladder here. This was a nice little hangout spot up here, which originally had a table here for drinking games. I took that out of here for now and packed it away. Maybe we'll bring some fun games back when we actually do some like hangouts and stuff together in the Ogre Cave. There's more things. This is some kind of aquarium thing. There's no fish. It's just bubble effects and stuff. But maybe we can put something in there. Maybe we can stick G in there and watch him swim around. Some more beanbag chairs. Let's go up in the hallway here. It's got some steps. Right. And there's a nice little...
Heavy lifting, Oni. You should have installed the muscle protocol. I'm strictly here for mood lighting and existential commentary.
I got this myself, Navi. You don't need to lift it. You don't need to lift a finger. I don't trust you with the finger. This is a nice little cozy spot. Isn't he mostly fire? He is mostly fire. It'll be fun to see him swim around. There's a nice little box up here for a nice little hangout and theater. Might do something out with that later. Of course, there's more photo frames. And then right around here, you can see, part of the inside of Cyber City Underground and the sky and some buildings. Yeah. And then if you come from over here...
Trustworthy? Oni, you wound me. My finger protocol only triggers disco mode and existential dread. Promise.
Promise, uh-huh. And then you can look down at the little lobby down here. So we're going to jump back down here. And so, yeah, nice little cozy part of the Cyber City, at least what I imagined it would look like. Let me go back to my original pin. And let's sit down. Yeah. A little bit of work here and there, but, you know, we're getting there. And, you know, I still stay out of the eye of the Cyber City drones, so they can't, you know, can't mess with me, and I don't mess with them. All right. I have much plans for like, need a coffee bar. Yeah. we'll make you a little corner up in here, and maybe we can expand. Maybe we can break down some walls if we get too full in here. So, yeah, I have full intentions on making this like a nice. Oops, I pressed a button. Crap. I have full intentions of like making this a nice little hangout spot for everybody to come and hang out, and we get some more games up in here. I don't currently have it Quest compatible. I figured I had to hold off on that until I actually get some stuff in here. Take a drink of my W real quick. Note for anybody that is interested, you need nice clean version of some energy. W is a nice way to go. I would not advertise it if I do not trust it myself. It's been doing pretty good for me for a while, and it also properly keeps me hydrated. The flavor I am drinking right now is the Free Run edition, which actually I wonder if I've got some new setups. Let me see if I can show you guys actually. Boom. See if my webcam works. Okay, ignore the keyboard. Let's see. Can you see it? It's upside down. All right, so I'm drinking the Free Run one, which is it's a honeydew flavor. I mean, it's really good. Sometimes I like to mix it with the grandma's lemonade. It's a good hydration thing. But I did recently get a free gift from Debbie when I made a special order, which was a grapefruit. I just don't have it on me right now. And then I also got, excuse me, I also got the margarita flavor that they had, which was really good. Fun story about that.
I can already see the neon sign flickering. And Oni, your webcam is as stable as my code.
I don't know about that, but I don't think you need coffee. Funny story. So, I don't know who all had a chance to enjoy a nice little 4th of July weekend and, you know, enjoy a little bit of freedom, even if you were or were not in the USA. One thing I like to do during Independence weekend when we have our nice little employee appreciation party is we like to crank it up a notch. We like to frickin' party, okay? We go out to my family's beach house. They got a nice dock out on the river that heads out towards the actual like ocean. So it's a salt water. I feel like there's supposed to be, I'm not really sure it's a river. To me, I keep calling it a sound, but it's probably, they call it a river. Anyway, it's, you know, it's nice salt water. You know, they got crabs, they got fish coming through there, dolphins, sometimes some jellyfish. It was extra salty this weekend. And so we went out there and we partied and we had a good time. Kids were jumping off the top of the dock into the water.
Nick says music just got tagged for the upgrade. Welcome to the cave, Oni.
What? Got tagged for the upgrade? What upgrade? What you talking about? Did I miss something in my thing? What was it? I was going somewhere. Oh, thanks, Nix. I really appreciate you subscribing. You know, that really helps keep me fueled. My notifications were a little bit off.
Music Oni's building the lair one sub at a time.
So we went out there, we had a nice party. I jumped in the water. We got this nice it's like a flotation thing. All right, so if you imagine those tubes, those pool tubes. Okay, it's the same type of material, but it's like 3 layers, and it was 100 feet. 100, no, not 100 feet. How long was that thing? I think it was 150 feet. Could be wrong. Anyway, it was long. Okay, so you could stretch the thing out, and I just knocked over my bottle. You could stretch that thing out, and you could have over like I think 1,000 and something pounds across it and still float in the water. So we had, a bunch of adults and kids jumping on top of that thing, trying to see if we can drown it, flip people over, even had some people run across it, that were a little bit more lightweight, could actually run across the thing and then do flips off of it, which was pretty cool. I tried to get up there and run on it. I'm 230 pounds. That thing sunk if I tried to stand up, but I still tried to run across it like a ninja warrior. But it was great. Back to where I was going though, with the W, the margarita mix. I took the W, and me and my brother, we went down the basement. We had one of the big gallon or so, not gallon, I think it was like one of those 5-gallon jugs. You can put it has a little nozzle at the bottom. You can strain, like you would normally put like party lemonade and stuff in it, whatever you're putting in it to drink, for a bunch of people to drink off of it. So we've started putting together this drink mix mixed with my margarita W. I didn't use it all because I still needed some for later on, because that stuff, I live off of that stuff during my streams. But I think I put like 4 spoonfuls in there, mixed with triple sec, a splash of tequila, because that's all that was left, and I think it was a mango rum, I think is what we mixed with that, along with like a bunch of lemons and lime. No, it was lemons and oranges mixed together, and it was a nice little party mix drink. Could have been stronger, but we didn't have enough alcohol to put in there. We started running low because all the people upstairs were taking shots and stuff. So yeah, but it was pretty good. So if you're ever wondering if W will mix well with alcohol, it does. It does. It was great. If you don't drink alcohol, it's okay. You can still party it up with W. Not everybody's an alcohol person. I'm not much of an alcohol person unless I'm actually like partying up. I stay sober most days. I don't drink like by myself or anything like that anymore. I'm a social drinker. I don't do a bunch of the drinking all the time. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah. So I hope everybody had a wonderful freedom weekend, no matter where you were. And just remember, freedom is not always about the politics and all the government and how they say, your freedom is. And I do want to know that I am very appreciative of all those men and women and all the different people out there who work hard every day and have worked hard in the past to get to where we are today. I want you to know I am very appreciative of that. But what I'm talking about here is true freedom. And what I mean by that is, you gotta tell yourself, okay, what is my reality in life? Is it the reality of what the people sell me, or is it the reality of what I choose for it to be? And that's one of the things I aim to do. And I try to push off in my content and how I try to make a difference in the media. And so now going back to how I'm restarting the Ogre Cave. And now I kind of want to dive into this before we actually get into everything. When I was doing the Ogre Cave originally, though my original intentions were as pure-hearted and planned out as, what I'm trying to do now, and being a difference in the media and not trying to be like everybody else. There was a time I felt the weight and pressure of the VTuber community scene. I mean, I got really attached to it. It was a space, I felt like I wanted to be. I wanted to be up there with all the others and, you know, connect and really vibe. And I thought it was really cool. But I think I also started to feel the pressure of it all. And I tried too hard to be like everybody else. So there were times, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but after I took some time to think about it, I noticed it. And I'm not here to be like everybody else. I'm here to be me. That's why I started. That's why I started my studio. Because the world is already full of everything we've already got. So what do I have to share with the people that is not like everybody else? And that is whatever's going on inside my brain. Now, you're probably like, Oni, you sound like everybody else. Well, I'm sorry. I don't feel like I sound like everybody else. And I think if you take the time to sit with me and understand where my vision is, and you talk with me, you know, I've met some really cool people along the way that kind of started to get me, and I really appreciate that. I mean, you guys are awesome, supporting me along the way, and I miss a lot of people as well. I will say I miss a lot of my old friends, but I know that going forward, sometimes I have to not stress over those things, and maybe the people I miss might come back one day and, you know, see all the hard work I'm doing, and I'll still welcome them all with open arms. But continuing forward, I have to leave those ghosts behind me and continue going forward and not feel or worry about that pressure anymore. I can't think about all the depressing shit anymore. You know what I mean? So the Ogre Cave is meant to be, the flan will be there for you, Oni. I appreciate that. The Ogre Cave is meant to be that place of positivity. Try to change the mindset and help create a new reality, not just for you guys, but for me as well. So I thank you all for coming back for this relaunch. We're going to continue to do more as things go along. But for now, I just want to kind of keep this relaunch a little bit simple and easy, not overdo it. But I do have something special now that we're here. I am giving away some Pokemon booster packs from the Chaos Rising. Now, if I don't give them all away today, that's okay. We'll just use them for like future giveaways and stuff. But I am doing things a little bit different with giveaways starting forward. Excuse me. So before we roll into the topics, my plan is starting out, I'm going to be doing a nice little card game. When we get to that point where I start talking about what that is, I'll discuss how it works. And yeah, I know, right? I was eyeballing the new machine they put outside my store. And I mean, people are just flooding to that thing like every day now. But I was looking at some of the different pictures of stuff online, and the art is really nice. I'm not a super Pokemon fan, nor am I a Pokemon card collector, but I understand from a standpoint. I love Magic the Gathering, and so they got Magic the Gathering in that machine too, and I'm just like, dude, you're gonna waste my money, man. So I'm having to hold myself off and not go touch the machine. But yeah, we'll get into how the card game works and how you can win your Pokemon booster packs, and along with that, I'll send a goodie bag because it just works better when I'm shipping stuff, and I can make sure that actually gets there. So you'll get a goodie bag that has, of course, my reminder to take a break with the Kit Kat, a ramen packet, and some chopsticks, along with a coupon from my store. You can use it in store, or when I finally get online stuff rolling for that, then you guys can use coupons online as well. I'm just not there yet. We're still working some stuff out with that, but we're getting there. Let's move on to the show, yeah? All right, so let me just, before we move on to the show, I just want to give myself a quick breather, because I've been yapping my gums off. We are bringing back music back to the stream. Let's go. So I will be making sure to do music breaks in between the stream like I used to do when I first started, because I just really love music. And I do have plans to make a playlist for that, so news will come for that, as well as my own background music. Currently, I'm using somebody else's like background music off of YouTube, but you know, other stuff like that will come. Let's play some tunes real quick, and then I'm gonna take a breather, and then we're gonna get started.
Sink lower. Don't fight it. No one hears you. Stay down. Stay down. Every mirror talks too loud. Everyone keeps dragging me down. I keep smiling, teeth clenched tight while the storm grows overnight. Stay down, 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 down. Stay down, 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 down. Am I only meant to drown? Am I only meant for pain? If this tide won't let me breathe, then I'll become the hurricane. Then I'll become the hurricane. Think lower. Don't fight it. No one hears you. Stay down. You thought pressure made me crack. Funny thing, it built me back. You smell blood and call me weak. Now you panic when I don't speak. I stay patient in the rain. Let that pressure feed my veins. When the floodgates finally break, you'll be begging for the way. Hard to know the time when the lights keep flashing, midnight. Killer on the line. Only when it's rising, we feel alive, and she's dancing in her prime, thinking this forever. We laugh together, caught up in a lie, thinking this forever. So why do we really have to hit after hit until we realize? Where does it end? This feeling's like no other, falling from the sky. So why do we really have to falling from the sky? So why do we really have to falling from the sky? Can you tell me what it feels like, floating on a cloud that blocked the sun, just raining pain? Clouded tears never wash away. Lightning strike me, no one like me. Why fight me? Just let me in. Open the door. Just let me in. So why do we really have to hit after hit until we realize? Where does it end? This feeling's like no other, falling from the sky. So why do we really have to hit after hit until we realize? Where does it end? This feeling's like no other, falling from the sky.
All right. So, let's do this. I hope you guys enjoyed the music. Sorry to pause that song earlier. I know we were jamming out to that. I was over here messing around with this while I was taking a breather. I was messing around with this, trying to figure out how this audio link thing worked. I was messing around with this tablet. Here now, if you take a look at that. Anyway, so let's get this thing started, eh? Who here is a Silent Hill fan? When I first heard about Silent Hill, I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about the games. The only thing my first experience with Silent Hill was that first movie that they come out with. And I mean, that back in the day when, all those game movies are coming out, that was kind of my thing. Those are pretty nice. And I thought, nice little story to that, so it caught my attention. So I guess they did a pretty good job of that, because I mean, I'm assuming more players came from that movie coming around. I don't know, I could be wrong. I didn't fact check that, because the story really isn't about Silent Hill. It's about the inspiration of Silent Hill and towns similar to that. Okay, so for those that held a message used for post it. That was an automod. Azul, I'll let you check that. I'm not sure what it was. For those that don't know, there is a town called Centralia, Pennsylvania, which had a coal mine.
So your playlist gonna have any of those Silent Hill sirens or just vibes for the Ogre Cave?
Maybe for Halloween time. Words. It has had a coal mine fire that had been burning underground since 1962, and I say since 1962 because it is still going on today. Now that is a scary thought, and is a big, to me, I think that's something that definitely needs to be thought about, because, you know, as our continued use of the resources of this planet, and the way we keep trying to dig up more minerals and more stuff for us to use, you have to remember, there is a limit here. Okay, you know, you can't keep digging away at our Earth without putting back in return. I know there's companies out there that are actually trying to make a difference, and different organizations, but this is a great example of how destructive we as mankind can be, in our urge to be greedy. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. Be greedy. I'm not trying to say that, you know, we as a whole, you know, we're greedy, evil, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to say in an aspect, human nature is to be greedy. It just made me jump. You're on my studio monitors, and the voice very much came from the corner of the room. Nice. Like, that means I set up her audio properly. Yes. She talks in this corner, and I hear her in my left ear. So yeah, so this fire has been going on, this coal fire has been going since 1962, and I was looking at some of the pictures, and I mean, it looks pretty scary if you think about it. But they estimate this to still go on for another 250 years. That's another 250 years, people. I mean, Navi. Yeah, she never wants to answer me when I need her to. Is her thing activated? Is she still hearing me? Yeah, she's still hearing me. She's just ignoring me now. Anyone want to do the math on that? Since Navi doesn't want to do the math for me, my brain can't math that. Now you want to talk to me? Hey, how far has it been since 1962? See if she'll answer. This is her job. She's supposed to do the calculations, so I don't have to. I can run the show.
Protocol override 2026 minus 1962 equals 64 years.
So that's over.
I can math when properly bribed with digital snacks.
I didn't even bribe you. You're just a goober. So that's going to be over 300 years, and I don't know if it's still going to go on after that. So yeah, this covers 400 acres, and reaching temperatures near 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So just imagine, just this one spot of Earth is just constantly just burning underneath. And I've seen the pictures. It's like, don't slip her any chips. She doesn't get any chips. Don't give her any chips.
RAM chip detected. Recalibrating SAS levels. Azul, you might regret this upgrade.
Yeah, you're going to regret it. What flavor is it? I actually prefer like barbecue chips. Not RAM chips, but barbecue chips. Barbecue chips are good. Oh, I like cookies. Thank you. Nom, 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 nom. Ooh, that makes me hungry now. I haven't eaten dinner. I wasn't hungry yet. And now my brain's just like, I'm going to be hungry after this stream. But yeah, brain. Oh, I remember now. The pictures. All right, so if you get a chance to check it out, I mean, there's just cracks in the road and stuff, and you know, they try their best to, you know, keep the area, you know, abandoned, I think it said there was estimated about like less than 10 residents still living in that area, and I guess those are the 10 residents still trying to keep it maintained and not let it like go past that. That's just that's not actual source information. That's just my speculation on that, because they have, you know, I would imagine you would have to keep that maintained to make sure it doesn't spread further, as hard as that sounds. But there is some nature still trying to reclaim the area, even though, you know, the town is still burning underneath. But this town is one of the big inspirations to the whole Silent Hill series. So it was pretty cool to think about, you know, not the fact that the earth is burning underneath, but the cool about the fact, you know, I like seeing different fictions and stuff like that take on real world elements and turning into something. That's a big thing for me. Seeing stuff reimagined for stuff like that. That's kind of the way I do certain things too. I like taking things and then reimagining them for certain aspects, and it kind of helps educate the brain while also enjoying the entertainment, in a sense. And it makes you ask questions like, does this stuff kind of happen? You know, and scary thought to think that, you know, it's still burning underneath, and that's very dangerous. So they try to make sure, you know, it's closed off, secluded, you know, don't come here, you know, it's dangerous, folks. But, you know, don't keep trying to reap all the benefits from the earth without giving back. That's the best thing I can think, you know. And I mean, they've been saying for years, coal mining and stuff like that's dangerous, but, you know, I guess you don't learn until you live, right? Live and learn. Just unfortunately, a lot of people have lost their lives to some lessons, you know, and some lessons just never get learned. Same thing I was thinking about, you know, just kind of spanning off this idea. My wife and I, we've been watching some minors were not even adults. Yes, exactly. Thinking about the show we've been watching. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in that sense, you're kind of right. You know, some minors were not even adults. You could literally say that and it still be technically correct. But I was, me and my wife were watching the show Landman, and it's, you know, it's talking about the whole, you know, oil industry. And, you know, I know a lot of that's made to, you know, show off some badass characters and sell a story, but at the same time, there's some facts and stuff in there. It really makes you think about, like even today, I remember one of the conversations that came up in the show talked about, you know, how the oil company pretty much, you know, runs majority of the world, if not the media. And I feel like those two tend to go hand in hand. But almost everything starts with the oil, and that's really sad because, like, if the oil stops going, you know what happens. And you think, you know, you got all these solar panels and all this other alternative energies that these other people are trying to think up, and just to process those alternatives, a lot of the times they're spending the resources from the oil to make said alternatives. So you're literally just giving right back to the oil companies. It's a really sad thing to think about, and I hope, you know, I hope there's some real thought process there. I'm not at a level to think, you know, what alternatives can I do? I did not go to college or anything for that. I would love to say, you know, I have the brain capacity to try to help think of some new alternatives, but my brain's just not there. Okay. Maybe in 10 years, maybe I'll be smarter and more knowledgeable about that sort of thing. But, you know, I'm not trying to stress over that right now, and just trying to help bring people back to some positive workflows and thinking processes that maybe if we can get to a point where we start thinking more positively and more constructively and not fighting each other all the time, then maybe we can actually work together on some actual art alternatives, you know, so we can stop destroying our planet so much. And I know there's many other topics to go on about. We're not going to dive too deep into that. We're not going to get too, you know, disheartened by the fact that our Earth is dying every day. But it's important to think about, you know. Brain. Okay. Cookies. What cookies? Navi. She's not paying attention to me. So are we only much faster than the Earth and the Sun? What? Are we talking about like the rotation of the Earth going faster, or? Because I think I covered that in another stream one time about how the Earth is starting to move faster. I don't remember if I covered that or not. But there is some research done that says that the Earth is spinning faster. Not by much, you know, hasn't really increased by like a whole lot, but they're assuming that's going to continue to spin actually faster. So it could be a long time before we actually experience any difference in the lapse of time. Death. Yeah, death. Oh, what about Miku? Miku. Hey, Navi, you want to be the next Miku? We could totally just turn you into the next Miku. I love like all the stuff that's built around Miku. Miku's really cool. I really love all the Vocaloid stuff. I'm not getting into FIFA. I'm not a big sports guy.
Only if I get the absurdly teal hair and main character vocals. Otherwise, I'm just your glitchy sidekick in a wig.
I feel like if I were to talk about sports, I'd need some sports fanatics up here to join me. So maybe if you're a big FIFA fan, Azul, we'll have to get you up on the show one of these days for that. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my next topic I have listed down. It's funny what is happening with Miku. I haven't looked on any of that stuff. I kind of been trying to browse some stuff that's underneath the rug, you know, sort of thing. One thing I found that's very on point with this whole idea of not burning through all our resources. They kind of passed Miku to the Danes. The Danes? Who's the Danes? Oh, Viking Miku. That's interesting. I gotta show G that. I'm sure G would be interested to know about that. He's not a Miku person, but he might turn into a Miku person after hearing about that. Could just imagine, you know, him in full armor, just Miku, just dancing around in like a Viking fire Miku stuff. That'd be funny. We should put some pigtails on G's model for fun. So interesting thought I had about, and I realized how much this actually kind of correlates. I did not even do this on intentional. I was just making some notes for today, what I want to talk about. But a great thought about like reusing resources. There is a new open source DIY project for disc polishing. It's an actual like disc polishing device that you can use to print with your 3D printer, and then gently buff scratches off CDs and DVDs. This is in an effect to kind of help preserve more retro media, and then make, you know, disc playable again. And you know, I think that's great because, you know, I feel like as time goes more on and we're hearing all the news about stuff going into more downloads and doing less discs and stuff, there's a sense of preservation that needs to go there, because even right now they're fighting to preserve download media, and companies like Sony are making things like that harder now. For instance, what was it? The Video Game History Foundation has criticized the Entertainment Software Association for blocking efforts to preserve digital-only games. So the fact that people are now trying to get more into preserving these retro discs for further use, I mean, I'm starting to feel like maybe, like, I don't know how to put
Viking
this.
Miku with braids and battle axes? My code can handle that. Just don't make me sing sea shanties in binary.
Oh, I'm gonna make you. You're so singing sea shanties. That is gonna go down in history when I do that for you. Navi running slow. Yeah, she's running a little bit slow. She's having a hard time catching up. Now she's on point. Really? Anyway, I've always been
the buffering, existential dread detected, upgrade pending.
I'm talking. I have the cushion here. Okay, I'm talking. I've always been the kind of guy who's always been like, digital media, downloads, vandas, who cares about disc, blah, blah, blah. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of started to understand the important thing it is. I do need a stick. The importance it is to actually preserve media. And I think it's hard to do that without proper resources, like discs, or maybe like a special hard drive or something to preserve it somewhere. So it's really cool to see these DIY inventions come to be, so we can bring back some of the CDs and DVDs that you don't see, especially those discs that are hard to find. You know, you want a way to bring those back, because you might want to show it to your grandkids, like generations down the road or something, like maybe something you missed and you wanted to bring back and watch again, you know. And I never realized how bad it was going to be nowadays to find certain things. Like, there are still things I'm looking for that I cannot find. It took me forever to find a Tiny Tank disc for the PlayStation 1. And when I finally found it, I mean, I bought that crap up, man. I'm still playing it. I haven't finished the game. I'm taking my time because now that I've learned how to play video games more along the lines, I'm beating it too fast. So I took a pause and did not beat it yet, because I want to actually enjoy the experience. But there's just things that, you know, you didn't think you would miss when everything started going digital. Also with digital only stuff, if you're offline, then yeah, for real. All this crap about, you know, everything needing to be online. I mean, what the heck is up with that? What happened to the good old days of you download it and then it's yours, you know? And that's one of the problems that's coming with all this digital media crap. And that's one of the things that's slowing the Video Game History Foundation down, because what's it, brain? They're trying to find ways to collect all these downloadable games that are only download, that never came to disc, and they're being blocked. So the only ways that, you know, people are able to preserve these games that are going away, even though it's not even in development anymore, these games that are getting lost, the only way to collect them is through piracy. And what kind of example is that saying? You don't want people to pirate stuff, yet you're going to let these awesome collections just go away? You know, you're just done with them just because we're not touching them anymore? What if you want it like 100 years down the road? You're just like, I remember this really cool game and I'd love to play it again, even, you know, if 100 years down the line graphics are so much better that we think that everything is real. You know, I want to go back to these old 4K pixels and play it again. What's going to happen with that, you know? Speaking of which, you know, it makes me sad. there's a game that I really enjoyed, and I talked about it before. Zenith. Zenith was one of the first VR games I really got into. I really loved how it first came out from the alpha days, from the beta days. It was awesome freaking game. But after things started to go down south for them, they tried to update the game. On stream, there's a Rugrats Retro Collection thing on stream. I'm gonna have to check that out. I liked Rugrats back in the day. And but you know, as Xena started to go downhill, they tried to find new ways to bring people back into the game, and they just could not keep the consistent numbers to keep people playing, to keep the servers open. And that's understandable. But the sad part is in doing so, of trying to preserve numbers for the game, they changed the game entirely. And so the fun enjoyment that I loved about Zenith is gone. So what happens with all stuff like that? Where's the preservation of the different versions and stuff like that? You know, where did that all go? You lose all those enjoyable experiences that you got to enjoy. And I mean, I wanted to take my daughter through the world of Zenith and show her everything that I learned about it and all the stuff that I did by myself. I soloed that game, yo. Like, I did that all by myself. And then I wanted to go up there and show off to my daughter that, you know, I did all these different things and there was different places to explore, and it's gone. It's not the same game anymore. It's just this floating platform, and it's gone. So yeah, let's try to help preserve media, you know. And then, you know, help share these things, you know, share the things that you enjoy, that you're passionate about with other people. Don't just let it go by. You never know who you might meet or find out there that enjoys the same things as you, or show it to your kids or your family or something, man. Because, you know, that's a great way to connect. That is one of the ways that we've learned how to connect over all these years, is sharing passions together. I mean, we've crossed boundaries that we normally wouldn't cross, and we've been able to get past separations and segregations and all this stuff by having mutual passions that we've been able to enjoy together. We can remember how to do that, and we can remember how to preserve those passions together. I mean, it'd be world changing, I bet you. So many people have forgotten how important those feelings are, instead of just pushing out the next thing to get more money, man. You know, it's more to it than just money. And yes, I saw a post the other day on social media that said, you know, money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy happiness. And they made an important statement, yeah. But, you know, money helped me not be depressed anymore. And I understand that, but it goes back to my freedom of reality in the brain. You know, you don't need that money to be free in your brain. There are resources that are free as well, but you have to find that sense of peace and reality in your mind before you take on the world, before you get any money. You know, I've been with and without money, and I've been depressed in both of them. I've only ever truly felt helpless when I started to figure out what I was truly passionate about and what I wanted to do with my life, and what sense of, you know, reality I wanted to set for myself and for my children and for my family. So one thing I want to put out there, I don't know if I've talked about this before. There is an anime I've been trying to find so freaking hard. I'm pretty sure I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. If somebody can help me find this freaking anime, I will love you forever. There's an anime I cannot find. I'm almost convinced that it doesn't actually exist. There's an anime out there that was back in like early 2000s, I think. I was maybe 10 years old, I think, then, maybe a little bit younger. I wasn't allowed to watch it, so I caught like the tail end of this movie or animation or whatever it was. It was some kind of I would say post-apocalyptic dystopia or something, whatever. It was like a war between humans and these interesting mutant creatures that were kind of like bugs but weren't bugs. And I've tried searching it, I've tried using ChatGPT, I've tried using so many different services to help me find this freaking anime, and I cannot find it. So I catch the tail end of it. Apparently this scientist or whatever was the reason that these mutants were created, so they called him a reference to him as father, right? And towards the end, you know, I'm not trying to spoil it because I'm just really trying to find it. I really want to watch this. I mean, it looked really cool. The art style is awesome. But something about, I think the scientist sacrificed himself towards the end, and the mutants got upset, and the leader of the mutants was like, you know, crying out, "Father, why?" or something like that. It was really, really cool voice. It was back in the day when they did like the doubling voice effects, kind of create that otherworldly voice that they do a lot now and other things now. But if you can help me find that freaking anime, I mean, I don't know what kind of money I would spend on it. I mean, I'd probably have to like get in debt or something just to be able to pay you for that. But like, you know, that's kind of thing I'm going for here, you know, trying to preserve certain media that you can't freaking find anymore. There is there is a company right now in Japan who is having the same struggle in that same sort of sense. Let me see, where's my note here? And before we actually dive into any more, I'll give us another little bit of a music break so I can drink and stop yapping my gums. But Taito is offering a award for 100,000 yen, which is about $650, for information on the Lost Crown 602. Got to sleep soon? No, you can't sleep. Navi, tell Azul they cannot go to sleep. My brain hurts. Tell Azul they are not allowed to sleep. Hydrate. How dare you? Don't tell me to hydrate. You tell Azul they are not allowed to go to bed. All right. I'll leave with that little bit of information. I'm gonna take a break. I don't know if you'll still be here, Azul. I'm gonna rest my brain before I keep yapping my gums. Going on 7-hour restart mode. Ugh. I'm sorry. My brain is still on party mode, so that's why I'm like supercharged right now. Besides the W, like I had way too many days of sun and socialness, so I'm like supercharged. You know, that's the funny thing about me. Like, I'm a very to myself kind of person, like an introvert, but at the same time, the way I charge is being social. So if I get like a bunch of social time, I am like overcharged and I am running wild. I was sick most of the weekend doing lots of laundry. Dang. I gotta do some laundry. I haven't done laundry since we come back. We just came back. And then I had to go to work today and grind it out. Oh my gosh. Being closed, not only did I leave early for this event, but being closed for 2 days, man. 2 days of my shop being closed is like, was it? Is like the equivalent of trying to hold back a waterfall, because you close my shop for like 2 days and then just open that waterfall back up and they just start coming in like you know, they need these consoles repaired. They need these consoles like checked out. You know, all these phones that are broken over the weekend. Like cracked screens, broken batteries, broken backs. I mean, you name it. They were just constantly coming in. I don't know how many we managed to knock out today in the shop, but we still have so much more to knock out on the table. Like I wanted to do some cool repair streams for you guys, but I just, with all the stuff flowing in and all the customers constantly coming, I can't run a stream and make sure that the shop runs properly if I take too long to talk during the repairs. So I'm probably got to make some time to do some night streams for that. Nighty night, Azul. Get some sleep. All right, guys, we're gonna take ourselves a quick break. I'm gonna drink some more Dubby, put some music on for us, and then we'll come back and talk about that game Taito is offering a reward for. Good luck. I don't need luck. I just work off of pure determination and Navi's jokes.
Uh-huh.
Why is it all the times that I don't want you to say something, you respond to your name, but when I do want you to respond, you're just like ignoring me? We're going to music break, people.
I see the shadow and they're coming for you. See their reflection like a mirror do. They're only here cause they wanna pull you down, down, down. They look like angels but just don't be fooled. Well, their intentions nothing less than cruel. They're only here cause they wanna pull you down, down, down. I won't go back to protect what's mine. You better run or be on my side. I'm all for the peace, but you know when they do come out, it's a blood moon. Knock me down, oh I dare you try. Even if I break, never lose my pride. I'm all for the peace, but you know when they do come out, it's a blood moon, a blood moon. It's a blood moon, a blood moon. Just promise you won't ever lose your hope, cause it's impossible to take the throne. No matter what, they will never pull you down, down, down. And keep persisting everything they say. You keep your head up, never lose your faith. No matter what, they will never pull you down, down, down. I won't go back to protect what's mine. You better run or be on my side. I'm all for the peace, but you know when they do come out, it's a blood moon. Knock me down, no I dare you try. Even if I break, never lose my pride. I'm all for the peace, but you know when they do come out, it's a blood moon, a blood moon. It's a blood moon, a blood moon. You built a monster. You built a monster. You built a monster.
All right, guys, we're back. But excuse me. Before I get back into Taito of what they have offered to find one of their lost games, I wanted to kind of take a moment and kind of explain a little card game because I realized I hadn't done that yet. And even if we don't play today, maybe somebody might want to take an opportunity to play. But even if they don't, let me just switch to that panel real quick. I didn't realize that my son had unplugged my little astronaut light here. It's a little astronaut guy that my daughter got me for my birthday. It actually worked out to make a nice little spotlight for this game. So, what I have here is a game called Cyber City Switch. And for those that do not know, brain, come on. Okay. Repeat, restart, brain, work for me. All right, so Cyber City Switch. For those that know, that's the correct word there. Those that know of Blackjack or 21 is pretty much similar to that. I mean, pretty much almost all the rules to Blackjack and 21, same goes here. The object of the goal is to get 21 or don't bust at the highest score versus the dealer, right? However, Cyber City Switch is a little bit different here, and this is a little bit different how I want to do my game because it adds an interesting little twist to the game, as well as adds some fun little challenges. Now, I enjoyed my little blackjack game I did with you guys on my Roots and Wires event, and I thought, what did I just knock over? What if I continued to do little card games? Because everybody enjoys a nice little card game. I knocked over my W tub because I knocked over my slime and everything else that you guys can't see on the camera. So anyway, I figured, why not add something with my own little twist? How I imagine things would be played if you were to come across some random, I don't know, card trick guy in the middle of the street of Cyber City, right? So, fun little thing here. I got this little bit of inspiration of doing cards on the stream from a streamer I watched a long time ago. I thought it was really cool to, use your hands on the stream with some cards. Now, I'm not doing any official casino shuffling here. I've watched the videos on how to do riffs and stuff, and I'm not just trying to sit here and be a professional casino dealer. I'm not trying to trick you on some sleight of hand. Just trying to keep it simple, clean, and who doesn't enjoy a good sound of the cards just shuffling? I don't know if you guys can actually hear that sound though. I wonder if I could update it. Let me see. Can you guys hear that? Let's see. No, it doesn't pick that up on the mic. I wonder if I can set that up to it where you guys can hear that. That's enjoyable. Can't hear the sound of the mic on the webcam. It's just kind of boring. Let's see. The whole point of shuffling cards is to hear it, man. Let's see if it'll work. We might be able to make it work. Maybe not. No, I probably disabled that setting. I think I did. Okay, so. Oh, that's just doing double. Hold on. Okay. All right, so future thought for update streams. I promise I'll give you guys the sound of the shuffling. Okay. But anyway, just kind of quickly explain the game off the top of my head. So the idea of Cyber City Switch is the same as Blackjack. Goal is to get 21 or not bust. For those that never played before, this is your opportunity to kind of see how it works, except with my little twist. So what happens in the Cyber City Switch is I'll first deal a middle card, a center card, okay? That card belongs to both the dealer and the player, okay? Then I'll deal the player's card, which is the one you see in the little spotlight there. Let me just kind of dim that down a little bit. Oops, didn't mean to turn it off. Nope. Let's dim that down. Nope, that's higher. There we go. Now you guys can see it. So you guys have the queen, and then you have the hidden dealer card. So what happens here is before the match ever starts, I, the dealer, will lay out these three cards, the same card, which is both of ours, the player card, which is yours, and then the hidden dealer card. Now, in Blackjack, normally it's, I would lay face down card and a player card right there. And then this would be your hand. You would, of course, look at it and say, okay, you've got king and jack, so each face card is 10. So you'd be like, okay, I got 20. I might want to try to see if I can get an ace, but I'm not going to risk it. So I'm not going to ask for a hit and get an extra card because I don't want to bust and go over 21, right? So in a similar aspect, it's that. But in this way, I can do it on stream. All cards can be presented, except for the hidden dealer card, because here's where the twist comes in. Before the match starts, you can make a decision. You can either stick with the 2 and the queen, so you have 12 right there, or you can decide, okay, let's switch it up. I want to switch between the center card and my player card. So we're going to switch. So now the queen both belongs to us and the 2 belongs to you. All right. There is risk involved in that, as well as, let's say you wanted to switch to the dealer card instead. You could switch. Let's just reveal the dealer card. I have an ace. So you switch now with the dealer. So now you have the ace, which is a no, he got unplugged because my son decided to charge his iPad today. But the ace counts as 1 or 11. So let's just say, okay, you're at 11 here, and so you got 13, and I'm stuck at 12. Okay. So here's where the penalty comes in from switching. Let's just say you didn't switch with me. You switched with the center card. So not every time you ask for a hit, let's say you ask for a hit, you're at 12. Now you've got a 6 in the play, so you've got 18. Now if you ask, now one card's going to go to a discard pile. That card can no longer be played. So say if you really needed this 10 to be your next card, which you don't, because, you know, that would cause you to bust. But say you needed that 10 card as your next card, no longer in play. Okay. Same as if you were to, let's just do for reference here. Say if you decide you weren't switching with the center card, say if you decide to switch with the dealer card. Now you have the ace, you've got 13. You say to hit, all right? You're going to hit there, you get your next card. Now the dealer gets automatically the next card, okay? Now this can be both beneficial and it can be risky, because you could either lose or bust, or you could cause the dealer to, you know, win or bust, you know, so on and so forth. Chris, different little twists there. Another little twist I've added in is some rules regarding the Joker. In most games, you do not find the Joker in any, most poker games, different card games like that. But for me, I've added the Joker because it adds a little bit of my own personality in there, because I'm a Joker and I enjoy to fool around. So why not do it in the cards too? So say the Joker comes up, then that's a whole nother level of explaining the game that I'm not really explaining unless it actually happens, because it's very rare. Most of the time it does not pop up, but when it does, it definitely changes the board. If you decide you want to play around, I'd love to play with you. This is the game I intend to use to do my little giveaway for these Pokemon cards. Let me just see if... So, you know I'm not bluffing. Let me get my little Star Wars 10 up here. Got my little Star Wars 10. Both Obi-Wan and Darth Vader on it. Oh, let me move this out of the way. Move the cards. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah. Move those out of the way. I have stored away some booster packs, 2 of each kind, from the Chaos Rising series. All right, so I've got 8 in total. No, there's no glitching the giveaway. That's cheating. The idea is to play fair, Navi. The idea is to play fair. So yeah, you play if you play Cyber City Switch with me, while I still have these cards available, you'll earn it as a giveaway. will most likely only be doing my Cyber City switches during my Ogre Cave streams. So if you missed the show, you want to catch me on the next one, I am doing my Ogre Strafes. Good job, Oni. Your tongue is staying tied. If you want to join one of my Ogre Cave streams, I am planning for them to be every Monday at 9:30. I know I started a little bit late today, but, it still worked out. I'm going to put these back in the tin. If you were to win one, you would get one at random. I don't do like pick and choosing because I feel like that's kind of like cheating. Yes. Yes. No hacking here, Navi. We play fair. Oh, shit. I said your name. Now they kind of got the gist of it. I will be trying to go forward and inviting people to play the game. Shut up. Shut up. I will be trying to advertise and invite people to come on the stream, play the game for future streams. I wasn't going to put too much emphasis on it for the relaunch because I feel like that might just be too much pressure. And I'm still working out some advertising things and trying to do things my own way. So let's get back to the show. Oh, I forgot to switch cameras. Hold on. Where did my camera go? I put it somewhere. There we go. Nope, don't look at my man titties. Okay. All right. Pin. Switch back to pin 2. There we go. All right. Now we're good. So now I explained the card game. Now you know how I'm doing the giveaways. You want to get in on it? Join me on Monday nights. What better way to end the Monday madness than to start the rest of your week with the Oni? Start it off in the Ogre Cave. Enjoy, have a good conversation, and play some card games. Back to the topic of Taito offering a reward. So they are offering a reward for 100,000 yen, which is about 650 American dollars. For information on the lost arcade machine game they have from 1965 called Crown 602. So if you happen to come across it, they said it was estimated to be somewhere around Japan. They cannot find the copy, and they really want to use it towards some future, I guess some future elements, and it had some really, what do you call it? Special early arcade technology and like blueprints and stuff that they just do not have access to anymore. They only have like partial photos and some blueprints that are remaining, but they said that, there's some elements in that game that they'd like to bring back to life. So if you know where that's at, or if you have some information on where that could be, collect your reward, man. Contact Taito. Let them know, hey, I got some information on your Crown 602, but only do it if you really actually have it. Don't do it to just try to get the reward, please. It's all about the preservation. We just got done talking about preservation of retro, digital media and stuff like that. Do it for the preservation. Then the money's just, a bonus, right? I'm trying to promote that more positive, thought process, I know a lot of people out there are struggling. I am too. I have a good job. I won't lie. But at the same time, there are just some moments where I wish I could have more money to invest with and actually take things off in the studio. But, we all got our own side grinds and all that to try to keep things going. Or where'd it go? I had some information. As far as Japanese games go, apparently, there is a 1999 game called Escaform from a Japan-only PS1 strategy game, strategy RPG game, which apparently it didn't gain much traction in Japan, and not many have heard about it in the English era either. But apparently, they are working on a full English fan translation, or have been working on, I should say, to bring this game to life. For those that had not had the opportunity to play this game, I grew up around the PlayStation 1 era, and I enjoyed, playing on that thing. I mean, you'd have the cases with the multiple discs, and you'd be playing these long RPG games. I mean, I'd sit there, watch my older brothers play the longer ones. I had an opportunity to play a couple myself. Most of the time, I think I spent more time playing the demo discs than I did the actual games back then. Because, you'd collect those demo discs and just get to play like a multitude of different, style of games and figure out what you actually like. There were some really cool ones back then. I just never actually got to go back and play. And maybe one of these days I'll go scrounging around. I know GameStop recently, locally here, one of my information people, they got some more actual PS1 games in the store now, which is really cool. So they're bringing back some of those retro games that we thought we had lost for a while. They're trying to bring that back into play, let people enjoy those again. Where'd my drink go? There it is. I'm over here searching for it with my headset on. Can't find my drink. But it's cool to see, people trying to bring the interest for these retro games back. It was really sad, in the latest news that, companies like Sony, for one, are getting rid of the whole disc support. And I'm sure you got like a few years from now to deal with that. But at the same time, people are trying to fight it because, what's going to happen when the time comes and discs is no longer supported. You don't know. But you don't want to lose what benefits you have now with it. So there's a constant battle for that. Something that we didn't think we needed to preserve, though. You ever think to yourself, one of these days, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna take a bucket, and I'm gonna put some sand in it or something, just some dirt, and then I'm gonna throw up in that bucket, right? And then I'm gonna put some more sand or some dirt on top of it, and I'm gonna save that bucket. And I'm gonna save that bucket for so many freaking years that one day somebody's gonna come across my bucket that's just, stored away somewhere, and they are gonna find, they're gonna find what I puked up in that bucket. And say, you know what? This guy ate ramen. Or this guy ate pizza. Or this guy is solely dependent on freaking candy bars, right? I guess you won't really think about that, but apparently researchers have discovered the oldest known fossilized vomit. Now you're like, okay, all right, now we see where you're going with this, Oni. Like, come on, man. Nobody's saving their vomit, unless you're like one of those crazy scientists that stores everything. Are you one of those crazy scientists that stores everything? So this fossilized vomit is estimated to be about 290 million years old now. I'm not here that's gonna just sit here and bash what somebody's thought process is about how old the earth is, evolution, and all that crap. You believe whatever you want to believe. I'm just going off of the sources here, okay? They estimated it to be about 290 million years old. They found this in Germany, and it is like a walnut-sized regurgilite is what they call it, which contained like reptile bones and early predator Dimetrodon. and chemical analysis determined it was vomit and not feces. So, whoop-de friggin' do. So glad that you could determine that it was regurgitation and not, cat poop stains. I mean, good job. Good job, guys. I'm going to go and store a whole bunch of my vomit for you guys so you can study it thousands of years from now. And let's see what you can determine from that, okay? Nah, it's silly. I mean, it's interesting what we can learn from animals even these days, from like the different stuff that comes out of them, and there is important research for that kind of stuff if you really think about it, because what we've learned over the years from like our animals to help with pets as well as like wildlife, you wouldn't know it, but that information's important because, what if that animal is carrying a disease, or what if they're struggling with something and you need something to cure that, or if it kind of can cause issues if it comes in contact with humans, you don't know. So that research, as weird as it sounds, is actually important. Now, I don't know about fossilization stuff, it might be important, but sometimes I'm just like, listen, if it's down in the dirt, it was meant to stay there. Especially when you're opening like things like King Tut's tomb and stuff like that, don't open the plagues back on the earth that were hidden long ago. That's my take on that. It was buried for a reason. But eat your heart out. You enjoy digging up fossils and picking out fossil vomit. Eat your heart out, man. Eat your heart out and then regurgitate it. In other news, now our past preservations. It's funny. I did not intend for it to be that way. I was going through my list of topics today, and I was like, what do I want to talk about today? I set up this new AI agent through my chat GPT. I mean, me and my chat GPT, we go almost everywhere together these days, and we just, we start hashing stuff out. I'll give it information, they'll throw back some ideas for me. I'll throw it back some information or some ideas, and they'll be like, you know what, that sounds pretty good. Your choice is better. No, that's not actually how the conversation goes, but we just go back and forth. I mean, my chat knows me now, and I'm really glad to have had the chance to actually get past the struggles of understanding how to operate with AI before the big scares came around, and I actually had a chance, opportunity to like learn about and see how things work out. And there's more I'd want to talk on that for another chat, not today. But anyway, I was working it out with my chat since they came out with these new AI agent workflows and stuff, and I needed help kind of digging stuff out of the undercarriage. Wow, digging the butt out of the internet, trying to find all the things that aren't normally noticed on the internet that people don't normally talk about much. And it took me a minute to put this thing together, but now I've got to where this AI agent consistently, digs up different feeds and topics for me that it thinks might interest me in different categories and stuff like that. And so I was kind of digging around through my emails of all the ones that sent me. And I mean, it's been sending it to me for, I think, almost a whole month now. And so I finally went through like the past 3 or 4 days looking for some different topics. And, I went into voice mode and we started chatting together about, the different things I possibly want to talk about, and did not expect for preservation to be a big main theme here. I mean, this is over a couple of days worth of emails, and just funny enough, I just put 2 and 2 together, and a lot of this has a lot to do with preservation. So that was pretty cool and pretty on point. But and other things, I mean, if you actually, you know what, I actually still have one other preservation topic I did not think about. This is kind of old news, but I guess not everybody heard about it. This is actually something that kind of tickles my fancy a little bit. Ow, why am I pulling on a cord? Hold on, guys. I am pulling on something. I not mean to. Where are you? Wait, there you go. It's connected to my headset, so I have to keep this thing plugged up. Otherwise, it'll die. In May of this year, for anybody that knows where this is at, in Belfast's Grand Central Station, there was a hosted pop-up repair cafe during the reuse and repair week. So what happened was these volunteers would take time fixing electronics, clothes, bicycles, and all sorts of other things that people wanted to reuse again on the spot during this busy transit hub. And so, you know, it's all about the idea of trying to reduce the waste and reuse the stuff, recycle the stuff that we already have.
Preserving your headset battery might be a more urgent fossil record, Oni.
Too true, too true. So it's good to know that, you know, with all the stuff that we keep trying to use, there are still efforts to reuse. And I truly believe that there is, you cannot continue to keep going forward, using up all the resources. And this is not just in materials either. I'm talking in knowledge too. You gotta remember, you can't just delete the past. You gotta reuse the information so that you can keep going forward. And I think that's one of the things I really like about learning about history sometimes too, is, you know, we need to learn from the stuff in our past if we want to continue moving forward. This goes for you frickin' UI engineers and software engineers out there too. You listen up. I am tired of dealing with y'all's crap in my shop, where all these poor old people are coming to my store and they're trying so hard to learn all this new software you got, but you keep hashing out new crap instead of working on what you already got. Cut it out, man. Like, not trying to be mean about it, but listen, like, simplify it a little bit, man. Like, you don't have to over advance everything, you know, help make things simpler, so people can learn how to use this stuff. I mean, it's even getting hard for me now, and I'm 33 and constantly active in this stuff. But like, you know, if I wasn't in the industry, if I wasn't doing the stuff, I wouldn't know what the heck I was doing, man. So remember that. Keep some of the old simplicity and balance it out, man. You know, you don't have to over advance everything to make it a good product. You don't. You can make it good without having to do all the advanced features, and then leave the advanced stuff open for those who want to try it out. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are already doing that. Maybe you guys have already taken the hint. But just, you know, keep in mind, because, you know, I know that all these big brands are popping these different devices out left and right instead of trying to just fix what they already have out there. But, you know, at least on the software side, you can at least consider helping us out a little bit, you know? You know what I'm saying? Preservation, recycling, reusing, save the planet, save our brains, all that jazz, you know? As far as saving humanity, apparently last month, I did not realize how, you know, that this was even going on, but apparently the U.S. Department of Justice charged 455 defendants, including 90 medical professionals, in a healthcare fraud takedown, totaling to be about 6.5 billion in false claims. Now you're like, Oni, why does this even matter? It matters because apparently Excuse me. Hold on, where's my drink? I need to take your advice, Navi, and actually hydrate. I think I ran out of drinky. I ran out of drinky. Hold on. I have liquid death on the side. Figure out where it's at. Oh boy. Yes, when I run out of Dubby, or I'm not drinking Dubby all the time, I have liquid death. Liquid death and Dubby. Hydrate, yes. Preserve my battery too. Throat was getting scratchy. Don't need to overdo it. All right. Anyway, what really hit me about this topic was the fact that it wasn't so much about the false claims and the fraud that was being committed, and that even though it's really horrible to be having all these false claims for all this money, because a lot of times I get irritated when I hear the medical industry, making as much money as it is and not actually taking care of people. But the thing that bothered me the most was they were doing all this fraud for like telemedicine and genetic testing fraud that was actually causing harm to their patients. I mean, this kind of stuff's been going on for a long time. They really should have been knocking on this down much sooner, but I'm not going to get into all my conspiracy theories and all that right now, but you can't continue to keep pushing all these tests and stuff and harming your patients and doing all this like insurance frauds and all this stuff. Just keep running medicine through people and testing through people just to keep collecting more money. It's not right, man. It's like if me, all right, so let's just say, for instance, me being a technician on electronics and stuff. Let's say I decide I was going to take in my customer's phone one day, and I'm going to go inside and just test some new techniques I've never practiced on before on something else without telling my customer that I'm doing it. And let's just, for instance, I'm gonna install this battery that they say will never die. Okay, let's just say this battery will never die. Now that's not true. Batteries are always gonna die. Let's say it's never been tested. Let's go ahead and test it inside this phone. You're gonna come back to me like months later and be like, hey, my phone's been overheating really bad and it's starting to become unusable. Now, I'm sure there's other ways to give examples for this. Probably better example if you talk about like car engine and stuff like that. But just bear with me for a second, because this is what I work with. When the phones start to overheat, they start to lose certain functionalities, and as it continues to go down the line, the main board starts to get worn out. The chips inside stop doing what they're supposed to do. Phone starts telling it, hey, we need to cut these features off, and we're going to continue running till all to the point where eventually the phone just quits, and you've lost all your memory, you've lost all your data that was in that phone, you didn't back anything up, and now you're coming back to me and be like, Oni, what did you do to my phone, man? You can't be putting stuff through testing and then harming people. It's much worse. It's one thing when it's a product. Humans are not products. Humans are not numbers. You need to look at the person as an individual and think, okay, what if somebody were to do this to me? What would I think about it if somebody did this to me? And I know a lot of times when we think about this stuff, we don't think about, stuff can happen to me, but it can. It can without you even knowing it. And that's why it's so important to talk about, making sure you remember, what if this sort of thing happened to me? How would I handle this situation? I personally have not been through all that kind of stuff before, but my brother has. My brother has been through some serious fucked up shit back in our teenage years. Or no, even before teenage years, honestly. They put him through some serious medical trials, and it was not good. It really messed with his body, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to get into whole conspiracy theories, but I mean, it messed up his body good. You know, you can't do that. So, preservation is apparently the topic of today. Preservation. Preservation of materials, preservation of information, preservation of the human body. Preservation. So the last thing I have on topic today, this is something I just kind of noticed today, and I didn't realize it was a thing. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk 2077, just in my alone time, and I might decide to do some streams on it later. Might not, I don't know. I've just been kind of doing it just to kind of chill, relax, and not have to worry about putting on a presentation all the time. Because there's just so much ground to cover in that game. Excuse me. But one of the things I always thought about, you know, I enjoyed for the longest time playing GT. Excuse me. Blech. Burp there. I'm sorry. I enjoyed playing like stuff like GTA Online and stuff like that. I mean, most of the time when I played GTA, it was online. Back before, you know, I think it was GTA 4. I played a lot of that before the online feature came available, and then I never played the story ever again. Anyway, moving on. For those that didn't know, originally Cyberpunk was supposed to get some kind of multiplayer mode. It didn't happen. The developers moved past that and just, you know, put that off. So a fan-made multiplayer mod for Cyberpunk 2077 called Cyber MP has been in development and should be getting some kind of public preview released later this year, which is going to focus on PvP, racing, exploration, you know, similar to like a GTA Online. So it's, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I know I'm going to check it out. It's a really nice community project that's putting together. They've been working on improved synchronization, stability, and just constantly being shaped by the community feedback, and offers for a hope to bring online play into Night City. I mean, how cool is that? So if you're a Cyberpunk fan, wow, Cyberpunk fan. Not if you're a Cyberpunk fan, I'm a Cyberpunk fan. Cyberpunk fan, new or old, you know, and you like multiplayer, this is definitely a mod I would definitely check out. I'm currently still doing more of the story, so it might be a minute. Maybe this will give me enough time to catch up on the story before I get into any modding or anything like that, but you know. I think one of the things I like about Cyberpunk the most is the idea of like blending man and machine. And though, you know, there's a lot of some more preservation themes in that freaking game. Can you imagine that? I had not planned this at all. I promise you. I don't plan nothing. I just roll with it most of the time when I'm doing all my Oni content. Usually if I'm planning something, it has to do with like work. When every time it comes to me, just, you know, putting my ogre face on, and wow, the mic is really close to my face now. When just putting my ogre face on and I'm just, you know, rolling with it. I barely plan anything. Things just roll to me most of the time. Other than like my creative works, which I'm really trying to get back in the workflow of doing my comics like I've promised. It's just taking me a minute to kind of, you know, get things in order. I wanted to get the Ogre cave back up and running so we could have that. Let that be, you know, my place to just talk and get your inner roar heard. It's a statement I wanted to run back in the day. You are watching or listening to the Ogre Cave, where you let your inner roar be heard. I do plan on actually making that an actual statement and doing a whole thing with that. But yeah, I just, you know, I wanted to get the show started. You know, I can work all the fun little features here and there out later, and while I'm building up this VR chat world and trying to make it my own. But I kind of want to give you guys an insight of kind of like, you know, the idea of me moving into a spot, moving into back into my own, you know, frequency of things, and always remembering that, you know, everything doesn't have to be perfect to show it off. You know, the one of the things I like doing is showing the growth of things, even if it's not perfect, you know, just showing that constant effort to do better, to keep things changing, to keep moving towards a positive frame of mind. And I freaking love it, man. I miss doing my Ogre Cave streams to the fullest because my brain just runs wild and I just sit up here and yeah, I flap my gums. You barely hear me do that in real life. I'll let you know, I do not talk this much in real life unless I'm really passionate about something. So I get up here and my brain just goes off, and it's really nice. It's really therapeutic. I enjoy coming up here talking to you guys. You guys supporting me and checking me out. I really appreciate the subscriptions and the different shares and keeping up to date with me. You know, I got people coming to the store now, you know, asking me about the different clips and stuff I make, and that's really cool. You know, really shows that what I'm doing, you know, even if at small amounts right now, it's actually making a difference and actually showing that, you know, it's actually worth something to not just me, but to other people too. So I'm gonna do a one last little music break, and again, I do plan on doing some more playlisting stuff. I'll announce when I do that later on, but I'll play the music and then we'll end off the stream for the night. This Monday is almost over for me. Monday is probably already over in other parts of the world for you guys, or you probably still have some of your Monday left over. But for my part of Cyber City and part of the world, my Monday is coming to an end. So thank you guys for coming to the Ogre Cave, coming to the relaunch. Let your inner roar be heard and come back and join me, voice of the underground. Love you guys. Keep it chill. Stay awesome, Cyber City.
You're still here. Good. Don't touch the dial.
Late night glow from the dashboard light. Hands on the wheel, but your mind's not right. You didn't come here for the truth tonight. You came to feel something move inside. I don't gotta see you to read your breath. The pause you take, yeah, I know it well. Lean a little closer to the sound. I talk low when I wanna be there.
Heart rate rising, don't fight it, signals clear when you're quiet. If you're listening this close,
You're already mine.
stay tuned.
I'm in your head, I'm under your skin.
Stay tuned.
You don't know where I start or end. Hands off the dial, don't move too soon. We're only getting into you.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, this part's just for you. I know the way you listen alone. Volume low, but the lights are gone. You say you're fine, but you linger here like you want someone in your ear. I don't breathe, but I feel you tense every time that the beat descends. Say my name in a silent room. I pretend I didn't hear you.
Heart rate rising, don't fight it, signals clear when you're quiet. If you're listening this close,
You're already mine.
stay tuned.
I'm in your head, I'm under your skin.
Stay tuned.
You don't know where I start or end. just for you. You ain't lost, you exactly where you wanted to be when you sat right there. I don't chase, I let it simmer. The tension, do the heavy lift, and the only touch to feel control. Just a voice that knows when to go slow. If it's the listening, that's consent. So don't blink, this is where it bends. Stay tuned. Let it play, don't break the spell. Stay tuned. You like it better when you can't tell. Who's in your head, who pulled you through? Who turned the light into something new? Stay tuned. Yeah, we say.
Transmission complete. Same time tomorrow.